Right, welcome into the Port Elizabeth contract signings for another season. This is going to be interesting. We only got 5 people retained in the squad, which is young Jonty Rhodes, Wessels is there, Mulder is going to be there another season, Duplessis and Hudson. So obviously we are going to move a lot of players on. Rousseau's gone, Duploy is going to be gone, Thenius De Bruyne is gone as well. The first contract signing we'll give is Ben De Bruyne another 3-year contract. Got a lot of faith in the guy that he'll get better. Showed in the last episode before the review that he got back-to-back 50s and showing what he could potentially do for us. So he's going to be in. Zedrin, he really had an off sort of season for us last season. I'm going to painfully move him on as well. Quinton de Kock, as good as Quinton de Kock is, he is getting on a fair age, and we're going to have to look a new direction there. Aman Khan, for us, has been relatively quiet, actually, just in terms of his sort of performances over the last few while. Still good numbers. I think we will move him on as well. Some big calls been made. Matthew's been moved on. Swanepoel, I think Swanepoel was not too bad for us, in all honesty. He's sort of put some decent numbers up. Yeah, he's a guy that you got to keep, really. So Swanepoel, he will get a 1-year contract. Bryson, does Dale Bryson pick up another contract? I don't think Dale Bryson does. We've got to be ruthless here, and Tom Curran gone. So we've only signed 2 players from that lineup. We're going to get a lot of injection of new players in. So they're highly recommending us doing this. So yeah, we are going to look through the market and pick some players up for our team. So really looking forward to seeing who we sign. Rightio guys, we've scoured and we've hunted some promising young players. So that's what we're doing. We're rebuilding this team completely from scratch. I've picked up a player called Junior English. That's what I'm trying to do. He's got 79 wickets at an average of 19.47. He looks a very good talent, actually, from Northerns. Has played a little bit for East London and performed remarkably well, so he will get a chance. We've also gone for a young 23-year-old Kyle Cronje, 35 wickets at 18.83, and he hasn't had a wee game for a while, but I think he'll be a good pickup as well. And our third player is a really young player, Rue Truter. Few skyscrapers there, and just his second 11-20 over form, 26 games, 35.65 the average, and he's good in every other department. So that's what I'm happy with. That's what we're going to try and sign, is rebuild this team. Even if we're a bit off for the next few seasons, we've got to rebuild. So you guys will be here for the next lot of signings, and we'll talk about them a bit further. So our hunt for players continues. We need a couple of keepers in the team anyway. We've gone for 2 relatively good youngsters. Burrell averages 61.5, 20 years of age, 1.3 million. Probably worth the salary to get. Even if he hasn't had much games, we've got to sort of take a chance on one of these players. His averages look like he's promising across the board. So does E-Player, actually. He averages 59, 43, and 30 respectively. So those are the 2 young keepers we're going to go with. Overseas player, we've picked up a young, we're going to go for Amar Gul from Pakistan. I think he might add a wee bit at the top of the order, and he's just a third keeper, and he can open the batting as well. So 3 keepers we've just gone and picked up. Just trying to get a wee bit of budget for the 5 remaining players. So we're just going to sort of do a relatively decent job picking up and rebuilding this team. And we've done it so well so far. Let's see what else we can pick up in the domestic signings. Okay, so we've done a really good job again, just sort of looking through players. I've spent probably a good hour or so editing, like, what is a 10-minute video for this. Just trying to get the next generation of players, really. Like, we're going to look at Albani. I don't know how to pronounce that properly. But yeah, decent averages across the board. Like, it's 20 over 1's the main one we're concerned. 31 games, 37.31 the average. And he looks like he's a talent. So 19 years of age. Thrust him in. Give him a go. And see how we go. We've picked up another player. We've got Wilkinson, who's played a little bit for Border. So he's got a wee bit of potential. Average of 36.37 in the 3-day game. And just his averages there. Just put a warrant to go, to say the least. Who was our other player? Kirsten. We've just gone again, just trying to pluck up whatever guys we can youth-wise, and they'll be given a go. Like, we've just got to free up a wee bit of budget. We've got a wee bit to spend on our two sort of big signings. That's what I'm sort of aiming to do with these last two, just to bolster the team out, because the team at the moment looks radically different to last season. Like, we've really gone and hunted young guys that are just going to be with the squad for a long time, but yet just now looking for some key men to sort of fit the puzzle. We needed a couple rounders, and I'm hoping we can get this right on budget just to give our squad of 18 here. So we've just gone for a couple of very experienced all-rounders. Go with Wayne Mulder. Solid career for Dayan Galalim. 850s at average of 31.07, high score of 81. 123 wickets at 21.15. And we've got Ethan Bosch, who's sort of more of a bowling rounder. He's handy. 192 wickets at 23.08. So that will wrap up our squad if we can get both of them. So very different looking not SW districts. Port Elizabeth side, a lot of new signings. Truder, Wilkinson, Kirsten, Awani, Gull, Burrell, Player, Bosch, Gallum, English and Cronje. So that was a great refresh of the team. A lot of youth. I'm not expecting to do too well this season. We'll have to rely a lot on a few campaigners to get us through the early stages. But we've got a lot of experience in the all-rounder department and the bowling department, so I expect us to do quite well. So that is the Port Elizabeth signings. Next up are the SW Districts ones. It's going to be a big clean-out with the SW Districts this season. We just don't quite have the budget to really maintain anything. It's just the board making us sign a minimum 12 players with that budget is going to make things tricky. So we might have to say goodbye to a few very talented players and just have to rebuild with what we've got. We've maintained a lot of their players. 5 players got contracts with South Africa. So the bowling, I would say we relatively got enough good bowlers there at the moment. So we'll focus on that a bit shortly. So obviously De Bruin, Botha and Brooker are all gone. This is who we retain. I think we have to retain Ben De Bruin for another 3 years. Give him a 3-year contract. Rain and Rickleton are moving on. They have been fantastic servants for the club. So we will look at their career statistics for the SW District side. Very handy numbers for Kyle Verrain. 750s, 400s, average 35.85. 850s and 100, average of 34.25. Did a good job. Ryan Rickleton. His career is a wee bit sort of different as well. Really good numbers. 1150s, 200, average of 34.24. 550s, 138. And 450s and 100 for the career for Ryan Rickleton there for us. So Ben De Bruin is who we're going to hold on to. We're going to move probably Duplessis on Pelfreyman and Hall. So there's going to be a good revamp of this team. I think Willoughby is someone we might need to sort of maybe consider holding on to. So I'm going to keep probably Sada. Sada, I think, is handy enough to keep in the team. He's only 21. He's always developing. So I think we have to take a brave decision here. Hudson is just asking for too much salary. And we're just going to have to maneuver quite well. We've got a bit of budget to spend on a lot of youth. Rebuild this team up from the ground again. And that's what we're going to do. So Hudson, unfortunately, we can't re-sign. We're going to sign Ben De Bruin and Sada. So the youth section is where we're going to have to really make our moves this season. So let's hope we can do a good job there. This is going to be quite a challenge to rebuild SW Districts, I think. Just scoured a lot of youth players. Obviously, I got this guy for Port Elizabeth through Truter. He looks a promising wee talent. This is with his averages and that. You guys saw it when we were signing him before with Port Elizabeth. So we'll get him. Stan Johnson looks like a really promising talent. 4 wickets, 4, 5 and 4. So he gets them in clumps. He'll be thrusted straight into our lineup, I'd say. Like he's got reasonable numbers to work with. He's a bit of a punt. We've got to go for those sort of players if we are to rebuild this team. And we've gone for an overseas player as well, just in case Sada gets away. Pasindu Bandara. So he's got a very good batting. He's a batting all-rounder. He can do a bit of bowling as well. So he's going to be in the team as well. So we'll continue here. He's going to be picked. Rutruder's going to be picked. We've got all three of them. Excellent. Any one of our old players being picked up, we're just going to have a wee scroll through. Probably recognise some names as well. See if they've picked up anyone of note. Everyone just re-signing some players. Hudson will be a big signing for whoever gets him. But yeah, that's our pretty much our first three signings, guys. You guys will be back very shortly with more. Investing in the future of SW Districts Cricket. A few very interesting choices of players. So we're going to go through the 3-day averages of Swanepoel and Rutherford. 95 wickets at 16.53, 17 years old Swanepoel, 15 average for Rutherford. Averages there remarkably under 20 again. And there, so I think we give those guys a go. I think we've got to try and do something a bit different. So yeah, those are the two signings that I've got so far. I had to scroll all the way down. Who's our other player? Crooks. Crooks is our other one that we're gone. So we've got our bowling attack probably sorted now for the future again. So that those averages there are relatively good enough. So we are going to pick up three players here. Three young, promising quicks. Got enough budget to probably make a play at a few good players again. So we're sort of just got to keep doing the groundwork. Try to keep getting some good players in. We need some batsmen, really. And if we have enough room and I've got some old players, I will pick them back up again. But yeah, the squad's looking quite healthy with a whole lot of fresh bowlers in there. That they'll just be thrusted in. They will be given a lot of game time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5... 6, 7, 8, 9 bowlers in the squad. We need definitely some more batsmen. So you guys will be back shortly with some more players. Three familiar faces coming back to SW Districts Cricket. I've decided to bring back, try and get these guys back. Kyle Verreynne, Ryan Rickleton, and we've gone for, where is their other one? Hudson. So I'm trying to get those guys back. And we are going to get them back. So that is fantastic. We've got to get one more signing. And that'll be our team. Like, our squad's sort of got a familiar look to it. Fresh lot of bowlers in the lineup. We've got a lot of bowlers. We need probably a couple young batsmen, and probably will be sort of what we aim to get. Here we've got a lot of depth anyway, which is great. Gonna pick a wee bit of experience. Got to get another rounder, I think, in the team. So Juan Mulder is someone that will be very handy to have in the team. Just in terms he can bat a little bit. Great first class averages. Great one-day career as well. Like, he's played all over the world. Played for Kent, Leicestershire, Worcestershire as well. He's played Yorkshire. He's played all over the place. He's even played for Port Elizabeth. So we're familiar with him. He's going to be signed, and that's our team. Got no budget left. We literally had to sort of fork out to get a whole sort of revamp on our team. But pretty happy with what I've done here, really. Like, we've got a good nucleus of players. Pretorius de Bruin Frere, pretty much Gain Monarch. They've been around a while. We've got Tutorin, new batsman. Managed to retain a lot of the squad and add a wee bit to it. So really excited how the season will develop. We're a bit light in the bowling, to tell you the truth, but these young guys really excite me. Rutherford, Swanepoel, Crooks, Johnson, they will get decent goes. You'll join us for the third game of the first class season, so join us for that, guys. Smash the like button, share with a friend, and we'll see you next time.